Hello, dullards and dark beasts. My name is TBSkyan, and welcome back to the boss designs of Bloodborne. So last time, we cleaned up the dark beast Parl. I think cleaned up is a good way to put it, because I absolutely wrecked his shit, for reasons of being somewhat overpowered, probably. And now with that out of the way, let's see. We could go to the cathedral. We have the tonsil stone, so we could try and go there. Then there's the Canehurst summons, which, if I remember correctly, Hemwick Crossing. There's a stagecoach waiting for us there. Well, because like last time we were here, we went down the passage back there where we found Alfred and the path to the Forbidden Woods. Just gonna do a check. That lantern looks weird. Yeah, there's the scythe. Which is enchanted now. And it does fire damage somehow. Yeah, let's go. Let's go see what the tonsil stone can do. If it can do anything. Because I think it's supposed to be... Oh, there's an item. I think it's supposed to be used down here. Jerk. Right, so I have the tonsil stone. And oh! Oh, okay. Oh. Oh. Oh dear. Oh, I don't like this. Hi. Am I gonna have to fight you? Oh my god. Oh, you're creepy. Oh, oh, I see. So that's what it is. So can I use the tonsil stone? No? Well, anticlimactic. Is it worth 14,000 blood echoes? Oh dear. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay, can I punch you now? No?
Oh, Amygdala. Oh, Amygdala. Have mercy on the poor bastard.
Okay, that definitely did something. Oh. Hey, that wasn't a death. Cool. Lantern. Okay, so that takes me somewhere new. You have a large face.
What a joy it is to behold the divine.
Is it?
It must be such a pleasure. You're in my debt, you know.
Oh, am I?
You're nigh on a beast of the field. But here you are, treading a measure with the gods. Are your feet as fat as your wits? Oh, cease this dithering. Take the plunge. Throw yourself to the wolves.
Why is your head so big? Why do you look like that? Hang on. Oh. Oh, that's not a human person. That's like a spider or something. With a human face on it. Oh dear.
Are you?
Ew. It's not open from this side. I suppose it's much the same story over here. Nope. That one opens. Is that... Are those jars of eyeballs? Looks that way. Just jars of eyeballs. Once again with the frickin' eyes. Ah! Oh, this looks like every nightmare I ever had in university. Good grief. Are there any more of those? Student uniform. Okay, let's have a look at the key. Today, the two-story lecture building is adrift in the nightmare. But once it was a place of reflection, where scholars learned of history and archaeology. Perhaps it still is, as the students in the lecture theater appear to await the return of their professor. I think I just killed their professor, actually. The Healing Church has its roots in Byrgenwerth, and naturally borrows heavily from its uniform design. Oh, this is Byrgenwerth! The focus not on knowledge or thought, but on pure pretension, would surely bring Master Willem to despair, if he only knew. So this is Byrgenwerth. Oh! Students. I guess. Oh dear. Oh, I would vastly prefer if you didn't. Yeah. Oh no. Oh, you are. Oh my god, there's many of you. Oh, jeez. Well, bullets as sedatives. Dark. What the heck is this room? Ah! Nope. Fear slimy thing, therefore beware of high spot. A little late for that. Anyway. Sorry to interrupt the lecture. There's one guy who didn't care enough to come and get me. Augur of Ebricius. Where the hell did that go? Oh, there it is. Partially summon Ebricius. Remnant of the Eldritch truth encountered at Byrgenwerth. Use phantasms, the invertebrates known to be augurs of the Great Ones, to partially summon abandoned Ebricius. The initial encounter marked the start of an inquiry into the cosmos from within the old labyrinth, and led to the establishment of the choir. The choir, this again. What is the choir? Ugh. Oh, okay. I should have read the text before I opened that door. Didn't mean to go here, but okay. More grave markers. The bell-ringing woman rings a sinister bell? Hang on. That's stone. That's exactly like the headstone back at the Hunter's Dream. Oh! Okay. Hello. Thought it was dead there. Sinister bell resonates with another. Yeah, that sounds like something's being summoned. Okay, so this is a PvP area. I see. So, we can explore here, or we can go to Canehurst, I guess. Those are pretty much the two options. No, wait, actually, there's one more thing. There's something I just want to see. I just want to see. I just want to see. Oh, you! Hello there. So you guys have just been, like, hanging out, I guess. You've just been hanging out all over Yarnum the whole time. Just hanging out and doing shit like that. Okay, I'll bite. Are you just gonna kill me, or...? Okay, that's probably about as much of that as I can play without getting copyright claimed. Hi, Future Skyne here. And it turns out that when you get grabbed by that multi-armed Eldritch monstrosity specifically, it takes you to the DLC. It also turns out that the DLC is a lot higher level than I am right now. And so eventually, after getting my ass handed to me in there for a bit, I decided to abandon that particular area for the moment and come back later. But because I'm also kind of a proud, stubborn idiot, I decided that that later was going to be literally just the next episode. So, for the convenience of the edit, I'm going to take the exploration of the DLC that I do right now and graft that onto the next episode instead. And over here, for the moment, we're just gonna fast forward a little bit to the point where I've given up on trying to explore the DLC and decided to go back to, well, you'll see what I went back to. I think I may have to accept defeat on that one, for now. Which gives us the Nightmare Frontier, or the Forbidden Grave for continuation. Fine then. Let's go find the Bell Woman. Oh, hang on. Is that spider guy from... or are there more of them? Well, you sure look like something, don't you? Oh! Dark Beast Sparks. Yeah, I would sure love for you to not be ringing that bell right now, whoever the hell is doing that and wherever the hell you are. Oh, great. Okay, bell ringing woman, where the f are you and how do I kill you? Is this a good idea? Nope. Was that a big version of those little things? Kinda looked like it. Okay, so that looks poisony as hell. Anyway, ring the damn bell. There you are. But I can't get to you from here. The hell? I guess the debris from that thing does damage too, huh? Huh. That's an interesting design. So, lots of, what's it called? Basalt pillars all over this place, which accounts for the regular hexagonal pattern. But then also patterns like this in the rock, which again replicate the pattern of the heads of those big scary beasties that are hanging out in Yharnam. And then stuff like this. Sinew in the rock. As though the rock is a living thing. Oh, what the f- I got a rock fell and I died. It's like I'm playing D&D with a particularly vindictive dungeon master. Oh. Hello! F off! That's better. That's less better. It got angry. But yes, it's poison water again. Of course it is. And let's just run, 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 run. Oh, cool. I guess that's a shortcut? Yeah, it is. And you. I see you sitting up there. What the hell's the deal with you, huh? Mr. Human-Faced Spider Person. What the dick? I guess it can do poison. I did not expect it to be able to fight back. Stunning deep sea. Okay, that's a worse kind of poison. I can surmise. So, priority 1, don't get hit in the face by rocks. Priority 2, find a way forward. Priority 3, ew. Okay. This place is tough to navigate. Have I just walked back to where I started from? No, yeah, I've definitely done that. That's exactly what I've done. You're gonna die now. Yeah, get poisoned. Suffer as I have suffered. Actual progress, actually. Are those ships? They are. Oh. Oh, don't want to know what you are. Just want you to not be it anymore. Nope. Excuse me? Have to imagine that singing is bad. So whatever is doing that is like right on the other side of that, I guess. That looks like a destination. Still more to explore down here, but that looks like a destination. And destinations sometimes have lanterns. This also kind of looks like... Okay, maybe that can wait. Maybe that can wait. Maybe that can wait for just 1 second. Ah, yeah, see? My patience is rewarded. 30,000 blood echoes is maybe a little bit much, especially when I have all this cold blood dew to use. Let's head back to the hunter's dream for a sec. Okay. So, do I want to go for more skill? Yeah, because I need the damage. There we go. Now we can go try that boss. Alright. Come at me, bro. Amygdala? Wait, hang on. Oh! Oh, oh. Hey, you know what? Never mind. You know, this come at me, bro thing I said? I didn't mean that. That wasn't... I didn't really say that. It's fine. You don't have to... No worries. It's cool. Yeah. Woohoo. Okay, so either that bit of him is impervious to damage, or I'm or both. Could be both. Okay, right. That's better. So I just can't hurt the legs is the thing. All right. But then how am I supposed to get at those arms? Ow. Like that? Nope. There. You were so cool in Yarnum, though. Like, you took me to nice new places. I felt like we were really building a relationship, like getting to know each other. But now, you're so angry all of a sudden. I just feel like we never talk anymore. Ow. Oh, don't do that. Don't do whatever that was. Okay. Yeah! Would you stop it with the eyes? How about the tail? No? Oh! Oh, I've seen that move before. You've been talking to the last giant. Did he just regenerate the arms? Ash. Well, this is not great. Okay. I can respect that. The camera's so far pulled back, I can't see what I'm doing. No, not the leg. I'm so close, though. Come on! I'm out of stamina all the time. Come on! Just let me hit him! Whew. Okay. That held a little hard at the end there, because I couldn't hit the goddamn arm. But, whew. Okay. Alright. That was intimidating. Oh. Oh, it's a dead end? Huh. So I guess the only thing I get from him is the ailing Loran chalice. A chalice that breaks a labyrinth seal. Loran is a tragic land that was devoured by the sands. The tragedy that struck this ailing land of Loran is said to have its roots in the scourge of the beast. Some have made the dreaded extrapolation that Yharnam may be next. Anyway, that was the Amygdala of the Hunter's Nightmare. One of those creepy things that's been hanging around Yharnam and taking me to places I don't necessarily want to go. But hey, it's nice to know that they can be killed. Boy howdy, strange, weird thing. Hope I don't have to fight any more of those, but, you know, guess it's up to Future Skyne to talk about it and figure out some stuff to say about the thing with the weird head and the too many arms that keep coming back. So over to you, Future Skyne. Well, thank you very much, Past Skyne, and let's just get it out of the way. Let's talk about trypophobia. Now, if you do suffer from trypophobia, then you may want to turn off the visuals for the discussion section of the video. I will be showing some images that are specifically designed to trigger trypophobia in those who are vulnerable to it. And the character design of the Amygdala includes trypophobia imagery, so we will be returning to that every once in a while. However, I will play a chime once the worst of the trypophobia imagery is over, and from that point forward, we will only be looking at the Amygdala itself. So you can make your own decision about whether you want to continue watching the video or whether you'd prefer to just listen from here on out. Anyway, trypophobia is an aversion to certain kinds of imagery. For some people, it escalates into a downright fear response, and for some others, it's more of a disgust or discomfort response when confronted with imagery that looks like this. Now, if you don't have a trypophobia reaction, you may be wondering, well, this just pictures of stuff with holes in it and patterns. What's the problem with that? Well, we can turn up the intensity a little bit with something like this. And if you still don't have any reaction to it, well, congratulations to you. You are a luckier person than I, because I find these images not intensely unpleasant, but I would certainly prefer not to have to look at them. So I'm kicking myself a little bit for having to center part of my analysis around this, but here we are. Now, trypophobia is not officially recognized as a phobia, not on the same level as agoraphobia or social phobias or arachnophobia. It's a phenomenon that's only really been documented in recent times, as people who suffer from trypophobia were able to find each other on the internet and give word to their experiences. It hasn't been researched much, so we don't really know the mechanics of how it works, but what seems to happen is that some people have a natural aversion to regular repeated patterns of bumps or holes in things. There are some theories that this is an evolutionary adaptation that prevents us from going too close to, for example, beehives, but it's not really studied and it's not really known. Anyway, it should be relatively obvious why I bring this up in connection to the amygdala, or Amygdala, as the spider creature likes to pronounce it. Because the amygdala is a section of the brain, a couple of almond-shaped little areas inside the base of your brain that, among other things, because brains are complicated and interconnected, deal with memory, decision-making, and emotional responses like fear. The patterns on the heads of the amygdala, whatever we want to call them, are consistent with the patterns that tend to trigger trypophobia in human beings. But those same patterns are replicated all over the environments of Bloodborne. The patterns of the amygdala, who, at least as far as I can make out, are essentially supposed to be the great ones, the so-called gods that have been at the center of so much of the lore of this game so far. The patterns on their heads, and perhaps by extension the patterns of their thoughts, imprint themselves on the environments of Bloodborne, which reads to me as a reflection of the way that they've been hovering, silent and invisible, over my entire goddamn playthrough. Not just literally, but as a presence that suffuses everything, influences everyone, which makes it really no wonder that there are so many in the world of Yharnam who call them gods. And nowhere, of course, is this imprinted pattern more obvious than in the Nightmare Frontier, where we encounter, well, this particular amygdala. The ground in the Nightmare Frontier is made of hexagonal repeating basalt pillars, which is a phenomenon from the real world, most famously in the Giant's Causeway in Ireland, which just so happens to replicate the same kind of honeycomb pattern that for many people trigger their trypophobia, a fear response that isn't reasonable and can't be explained, as though there was something malevolent or dangerous hiding in the patterns, a malice which is felt, but not quite explainable. And on a character design level, this is a pretty simple and effective way to use something that generates real fear in people as a feature of a creature design in order to make it scary. Combine that with the Cthulhu-like octopus tentacles coming out of the face and the spider-like arms, as well as its unnatural thinness, and you've got a recipe for a real scary, otherworldly beastie. But there's something else at play as well. Look at the giant, oversized heads of these monsters. Simultaneously egg-shaped and yet very humanoid in their construction, this is a character design trope as old as time itself, the giant head denoting a powerful intelligence. We see this especially with alien character designs all the time, whether it's the classic little greys and their various reinterpretations, or the more cartoony and ridiculous like the aliens from Mars Attacks. It's a visual signifier of intelligence, but not a comprehensible intelligence. It's an intelligence that thinks in patterns and ways that you can't quite fathom and you can't understand. It's an intelligence that doesn't share your concepts of logic, morals, or empathy. And this is at the core of a lot of Lovecraftian horror, things which are not merely terrifying to look upon, but which represent a kind of logic that is anathema to the human experience. Now, for good old Lovecraft himself, such creatures tended to represent things which he found anathema to his reason and logic, i.e., literally anyone who isn't white, cis, straight, and Christian. Now, we'll have to deal with Lovecraft's bigotry in more detail later on in the series because, well, it's kind of baked into the legacy of this entire kind of horror aesthetic. But for the moment, the point I want to make is that the Amygdala and the kind of horror that inspires its character design is a psychological as well as a visceral body horror. Like, it's more than just disgust at looking at this very unappealing creature. It is the cold dread that sets in when you realize that this thing is an intelligence perhaps in some ways not dissimilar from your own, but which inhabits a world of logic so fundamentally divorced from your own that you cannot comprehend it. You cannot see things from its perspective. It cannot see things from yours. And if either of you were to try, the results would probably be indistinguishable from violent, frenzied delusions. Which leads us on to one last feature of this character design: its eyes. Now, the Amygdala has some eyeballs in the palm of its hands, but that's not really the eyes that I want to talk about right now. No, the Amygdala keeps the vast majority of its eyes on the inside. Inside the webbed and cage-like structure of its head, there is a mass, and when the Amygdala is exerting itself, when it is expressing its power most strongly, when it is being, in other words, most itself, that mass is extruded like bulging veins, turning into a teeming mass of what looks like unblinking eyeballs. Now, the idea of eyes as a source of power has come up, a few times in Bloodborne already. And the idea of sight as a conduit through which forbidden knowledge can enter the human mind is present all over the symbology of Bloodborne, not in the least in the icon for insight. Insight is acquired primarily through acts of extreme violence. It is the exposure to monsters, to violence, to trauma that triggers the acquisition of insight. And as insight accumulates, the world begins to change. We see things differently, and we see different things. There are monsters in the world now, hovering and invisible, looming over everything, influencing everything. Their presence is felt in even the slightest patterns in ways that no one who hasn't been through the same things that we have could possibly begin to understand. So, if Bloodborne is going for a metaphor about the effects it can have on a person to live with anxieties or trauma, about the alienation and loneliness that comes with perceiving monsters that no one else can see, they've hit on a pretty good one with the Amygdala. Thank you very much for watching another episode of the boss designs of Bloodborne. The analysis on this one was a bit difficult because there was so much more that I wanted to discuss relating to the Amygdala, the imagery of the eyes, and insight as a mechanic in the game, but you have to cut it somewhere and you can't get to everything in one episode, and so hopefully there will be some future bosses that allow me to return to the subjects that I've raised with the Amygdala, because boy howdy is there a lot of meat on them there skinny little spider bones. Anyway, as always, if you have enjoyed this episode of the Boss Designs of Bloodborne, I would appreciate if you clicked the like button. Maybe also subscribe if you feel like it, because I work really hard on these episodes and, I want them to do well. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, then I have a Patreon, a merchandise store, and a tip jar. Oh yes, there's monetization aplenty on youtube.com/tvsguy. But if you're not in a position to be able to donate directly, or hell, if you just don't want to, that's completely okay as well. I'm just happy that you've watched the video this far. At the end of my videos, though, I do like to try and encourage people to, generally speaking, support the content that they love directly with whatever they can, whenever they can, because a $1 donation, especially to a niche content creator who doesn't have a huge audience, can quite literally be the same as thousands of views on a video. It makes so much more of a difference than you think. So if there is content out there that you love, please consider supporting it directly with anything you can, whenever you can. Anyway, last bit of self-promotion. I have a second channel where I mostly do Let's Plays of various games. We're playing Hades over there right now. Breath of the Wild is also happening. And if you would like to watch the unedited footage that goes into these episodes, if you want to watch all the stuff that happens between the mini cuts that I put in, then that is available over there as well. So, like, comment, subscribe over there as well, yada yada, etc. You know the drill. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to wear a mask and wash your hands, and once the vaccine becomes available, for the love of God, please take it, because I want this damn thing to be over already. And try to act in solidarity with those who are working hard right now to make the world a better place.